Just Jason, just do it louder. This has been a while. Jens. Hey, it came back, you know? Welcome back, Jason. Why not put him in the spot? You've been a while. You've been enjoying your life, you know? You said. And now you have depression. That's how it is. You go have fun somewhere else, you come back, and depression hits you. And that's how it is. It's a reward for going away. Mm-hmm. Covering those, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Spotify, just have a notification on. Just have Spotify, Apple, what is it? Apple Music, Apple Podcasts. And the reason why we tell you notification on is because Jason, we just go live whenever we're horrible at this, by the way. We're not supposed to be doing this. We're supposed to have like a time and say, "Oh, we're gonna be on this time." We just get out whenever we want to. You have to pay us. Yeah, yeah. I'm working for you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, I got you. I got you. I know. Yeah. And it also because it's 9:30 a.m. People are right now just I don't know. Some of them are waking up. Some of them are yeah. No, I don't. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Uh, Jason, I went to sleep. I think you text me. Oh, what am I doing? I swear to God, I got on Diablo and I couldn't handle it. I was 10 minutes in. I was like, I need to go pass out. I could not. I was so tired. And I've been waking up. I've been wanting to sleep around 1 to 12:30 now, and waking up around 6:30, 7, and if I pass out a little bit, 8 is the most. I think it is H. I think at this point, H won't let me wake up. I cannot go to sleep later. I don't know other people. I don't know how other people do it. I don't know how people can sleep from maybe 12 a.m. to maybe 11 a.m. I don't know. Yes. Yeah. 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 Yep. So, oh, well, oh, the Builder Bear? Oh, Denise built it. That's not me, boy. That's not me. As the new test that I did, it was Slytherin. No, I did not. I did not. I really did not. It's a Little Mermaid special one. So Denise saw it and she wanted to build it, and I had to buy the rest of the outfit, which is the little Slytherin. Uh, Not the scarf. I mean the little the top. Yes, because they had it on. They had it there, so I had to order it. And then the little hat, and then yeah, should be my Slytherin. No, let me tell you this, Jason. Uh, let me. Okay, you might be right because let's say 2 days ago, there's this guy went to work and he's looking for a job and there was nobody there and he was just in the middle of our work and I was like, can I help you? He didn't know any English. He was like a young guy. He says he's looking for a job. He looked kind of desperate, and he says, "Can you help me do the application?" And I sent him the where he has to do it in Spanish. And he's like, can I get your phone number so you can help me?" And he's like, and I'm like, I couldn't say no, Jason. So now he was texting me yesterday. He's like, "Can you help me?" I'm like, "I get off at 10:30. I probably can help you on Monday." But yeah, you're right. I couldn't just say no. But the thing with the celebrities, they're not bad guys. They're not bad guys. Okay, they're like okay. Hold up. Yes, that's right. But no, but hold up. But not all of them. You know that not all of them. Gryffindor. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But there were not. There was things couple Slytherin. I mean, Professor Snape. He's not. He's a Slytherin. He was grayish water. They're like in the grayish water. That's what I feel like it because I wa- I'm a gray Jedi because I understand both sides, Jason. Okay, I understand the dark side and I understand the light side. Okay, truly. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. So Ariel should not. Oh, I forgot not to put too much. Denise told me not to put too much attention to the bear because they can come back alive. Well, you know how you put too much emotion in one thing item, they can possibly get haunted. If you put too much, a lot, like the Okiko doll from Japan. Yeah, no, but for real, this is. But okay, so for example, there's this doll in Japan. I need to find the the name of it, but the haunted doll in Japan is supposed to be haunted because this little girl, she got her brother gave it to her, I think, and this is like in 1950s or 1940s, I think. I forgot. Yeah. Anyways, it's called Okiko, huh? So yeah, so apparently this little girl loved this doll so much, but she had malaria and she died. This is actually true that she died. She had malaria and her brother was so heartbroken. But the little doll would not leave her sight. That doll would not because that was her favorite toy. So they say that when they have the doll, a couple months later, they started hearing things, and apparently the doll was just moving around. They were seeing they put it in one spot and another, it would just move to another spot. And they noticed that, and in their hair. the most important thing, the most like creepy thing about this is that her hair just kept growing. They will have to cut it off, and it looked real. And it's still at this point they have to cut it off. So the family, they couldn't. It was just haunted for years. They couldn't handle it, so they have to give it to a shrine, to kind of like if you could give it to like the main Catholic church. They gave it to the Japanese Shinzu, I think it's called, the religion shrine. So they have it on a shrine right now, and people can go watch it. But they say if you if you go with like say like oh mock, apparently a lot of people get like a lot of people have died after leaving that place or like days after. Uh huh. Uh huh. Mock. Yeah. 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 What if? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So pretty much people don't know if so there's pictures of her and also like of her having long hair and they have to cut it off. So they have yeah. Oh yeah. I I, I was kind of doing a little bit of that. I was just been playing. I've been playing Diablo. That's it. So yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. Is it's the same one? Jason believe for once like the aliens. Like are you gonna be like those person who literally aliens and you're gonna be like, oh, look, Jason. Can I? Okay, let me not go on too much. But I was watching this video of Carl Sagan. The famous physicist. Okay, the famous video where he's explaining the fourth dimension. Okay, there's a famous video. It's like a 7 minute long. And he's explaining how we can see how do we see each dimension. And he was explaining how the two-dimension people are not gonna be able to see three dimensions because they don't see up and down. And we three dimensions, we can see the two dimensions because we can see up and down. You know, so if, for example, if aliens or other things, they're like fourth dimension, we cannot see the fourth dimension. We can think about it, but we cannot see the fourth dimension because we're not meant to do that. There we go. So why can't I just be? Why can't we just say that there's stuff that we don't, we think they're ghosts, but there's something else probably because we cannot see the fourth dimension. Ooh. Well, then, I don't know. That's true because he came out with that with a lot of help, right? It wasn't just him. I'm pretty sure he had right physicists. I'm pretty sure. Hello, Jason. They're telling me that they cannot hear you on the chat and the stream. They can hear me, but they can't hear you. It's okay. They can only hear me. I'm the real one anyway. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Mm,
Okay, there we go.
you
There we
got
go.
it.
Yeah, I got it. Do we just continue? Should we just go with it?
Yeah, go with it. Yeah.
For those of you who did not hear all of that, that's okay. Danny had all the good info there.
Mm-hmm.
Danny was the one supplying all the good info. So that's okay. You don't need to hear me. If you want to hear Danny have a conversation with the teddy bear, that's what it should be, Danny. That's what you were doing this whole time. You were never coming.
She's a Hufflepuff. I mean, sorry,
Hufflepuff, Slytherin, which
Slytherin.
is what you also tested first when you did your Team Hufflepuff.
Look, Jason, let's just keep going. So you were talking about, okay, you were talking about, what were we about if Christopher Nolan was God,
Christopher Nolan is the
because
God director because if these aliens that landed in the Vegas backyard, if they are the fourth dimension, and he put this in there before we knew this, then that's it. That's it, because he guessed it. You can't beat that. Let's see. I'm gonna look up here.
Then you said those aliens are. What if they're humans from the really, really, really future, and then just come here? But I was like, you're right.
Kip Thorne. Kip Thorne is the physicist who helped consult through Interstellar. I think he was also a popular physicist. I think one of the things.
Yes. I've seen this guy. I've seen his couple of his talks.
I think one of the things he said wasn't realistic was just like the clouds forming like ice when they landed on Matt Damon's planet.
Yeah.
I think he said that was one of the things I was like, that's not really realistic. But Christopher Nolan's like, yeah, but it's a cool idea. So
it's a cool idea, yeah.
That's one of those directorial takes precedent. Okay, Danny, we've gone on too long about tangents and
look, going back to Japan, Jason, let's just go straight to it. And Jason, you went to have a great time in Japan. And I gotta lie to you, Jason. No, it is debatable because I was fucking. Let me tell you this. I gotta admit, but I was jelly, Jason, because I miss Japan. And this is the thing where people like when people go to places like this and you always talk about it, like you were talking about earlier, like you feel bad talking about it too much because you feel like you're rubbing it into other people. You know?
I hate it. It happened as well when I came back from Europe, and even me saying that, I already feel like I'm like, calm down, Jason. Like, shut up, dude. But when I came back and people want to talk about it, people want to hear about it, you land and it's just like, all right, I guess I'll talk about it. Not because like, I guess like whatever, but because I'm tired, number one. But then once you get the energy to talk about it, it's like, I don't want to talk about it too much because then it's like feels like it's shoving it in people's faces.
But that's what I'm telling you right now. This is a safe space. You talk about it as much as you want. This is what I want this podcast to be, and this is what we're gonna do right now. So, first thing I want to say that at the end of this, Jason, I'm gonna ask you for those people because people want to know how much was it, but first I want you to tell everything that you did. That way you just give them an estimate because I feel like a lot of people think there's gonna be overpriced. They don't know. I have people asking me how much it is, so that's why I'm like, it'll be cool if you can give them like an estimate how much your trip was.
You want to start off with prices? Then we can start off with like.
I mean, I was gonna say maybe whichever. I was gonna say like just tell us what you did, and then after the end, you can just say like, I don't know.
I got you.
If you want to start like with the price.
I got you. No, I understand what you meant now. I'll start off with saying this: things over there are very, very inexpensive, especially because of the currency. Is my brother put it in a good thought process of it, which is basically the currency its exchange is so good right now for us. Everything feels like it's 30% off, which is really, really great, Danny, because it makes you want to just be like, well, I gotta get this now because I mean, kind of want it, and now it's got a sale on it. But I'll say it's very, very inexpensive to be in there, and the flight was also very inexpensive, but that was because we have a credit card that gave us a lot of good points, a lot of really good points. So the flight was basically just like 150, I think it was.
And also, I think you live in a great area where you can get close. You you live close to, not really close to LAX, but LAX, from LAX straight to Japan, it's a really less costly flight. Like for example, if we wanted to fly straight, we can't fly straight.
PDX doesn't fly straight to Japan?
No, we'll have to travel to either Seattle or LAX or San Francisco, I think. I think San Francisco also does straight. But for example, somebody else from the middle of the nowhere, like in the middle of the United States, they will have to travel some,
cheaper flights probably though.
Yeah, probably. But there are cheap flights though. That's why I think last time when I only went, the only first time I went, I just bought tickets to LAX, stay with you guys, and then left
From there.
Yeah.
Danny he got the Japan rail pass, and he left the physical pass back at home. I remember this. I don't know why I remember it so vividly. I think your mom was visiting my house at that time. I think she was here at that time, and I remember her like freaking out about it or wanting to help or something.
I don't remember my mom at all.
I don't know. I have a memory of like, that's why I knew about it. That's why I knew about it, because your mom was here like, Danny forgot this and blah, 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 blah.
So, I mean, good thing I was my brother-in-law, Eduardo, he worked at the U.S. Post Office. So he picked it up and he was able to deliver it somewhere overnight, but I fucked that up. But anyways, Jason.
I'm surprised you even needed a physical pass.
Yeah, you do over there. Okay, what you thought? I know physical stuff over there is more. I think people really like physical stuff over there. I don't know how it is now, to be honest. It's been 5 years since I went there. But when you landed there, Jason, what's the first thing you thought of Japan?
That's a tough question, because I've become somewhat of a worrywart. One of these days we're gonna have Diana on here soon, as she'll probably be like, "Yo, God, this fucking kid was worrying way too much."
Is the Monteroso gene? Is the Monteroso DNA? I know. Trust me, it's the Monteroso DNA. Denise has told me many times. Yeah. It's yeah.
I can't really get a full grasp on things until I get settled in. So we land. And we're at the airport. I already had like in my head, got to get the Wi-Fi, the portable Wi-Fi, and we got to mail our things, our luggage to the hotel. Like that. That's all I was thinking about. We were in the airport. We were getting our bag, and I was like, okay, now we got to find this and that. Great. I think I've done enough research to just do it quick, and everything's really convenient over there.
Very convenient. Yeah.
By the way, if you go back, if anyone I highly recommend doing the luggage delivery service. It's usually just about a day or two, and you don't have to worry about carrying your heavy ass luggage, and it's not too expensive. It was like $40 to send like 4 bags.
So you pretty much go on the airport, some type of service, and you tell them, "Hey, can you deliver this to this place?"
Yamato. Yeah, you go up to them, and well, I mean, it's a lot more complicated because they're not very good at English. Yeah, not their fault, but it's just the language barrier was there, so it wasn't always a very easy process in terms of that. But once you give it to them, and once they make sure that the slip was filled out correctly, they just send everything over, and then it should be out of your hands. Let the hotel know or whatever, and then they're gonna, like the first hotel we stayed at, they just put our stuff in the room right away, and I was like, oh, great. It's just those little headaches that like. Minor inconveniences, but
it can help a lot. Some pretty other places do it too, probably.
It feels nice.
But I feel safer in Japan, so
that it'll get there safely.
Yeah, would it get there safely? Yes.
That first day, I didn't feel like that because it was my first time there. So I was like, oh man, what if it doesn't arrive? I had a backpack that I was keeping with me that was full of like stuff and just in case. Yeah. It was no problem, but we landed in Haneda Airport, and once we did that stuff, that's when we had to worry about trains. And
yes, yeah.
And it was just like when we were in Europe, where it's like you gotta get used to this. You gotta figure out the train systems. You gotta figure out those numbers. You gotta figure out all that stuff.
But go ahead. I'm just saying, in Japan, train system is just, I mean, if you look at the map, it can be a little bit too much because also the language. You don't know what of those their symbols means or anything. They have some English parts, but I know what you mean. It's pretty.
They're really good with English.
Yeah.
English signage. There's a lot of English signage that is very, very, very helpful, and we wouldn't be able to do anything without it. But once we got to the train station, that was like when we had to figure things out and how it worked. Oh wait, we were still at the airport because the train station is connected to the airport, and we got a Pasmo thing to be able to just scan it at the freaking train entrance. Yeah. You just scan it and then you go right through. It didn't work at all locations. There was something wrong with the card that we ended up figuring out. So we had to buy a lot of individual tickets, which are pretty cheap. I think one way was always just about like $150, $2, which isn't bad.
Makes sense.
It wasn't bad at all. It was very cheap to get you going to long places unless you get a Shinkansen, a bullet train. But anyways, figuring out all that stuff was the only thing I was worried about. So I don't really grasp what the country is. It was the same thing in the other places I've been to where I'm like, yeah, Diana's over there pointing out stuff, and I'm just like, yep,
And you're just worrying.
Just look around, but I was just, I'm a worrywart. It was pretty bad at first over there. But once you once you start figuring it out, it's like, okay, this isn't bad. I understand like the process of where to go, which ones to take, how much to pay, and all that mumbo jumbo. But then once we dropped off our stuff in Kyoto, then it became like cool.
Okay, yeah, I'm already set. I'm ready to do, what I was meant to do. So, what you had.
We got to the hotel, and that's when I was like, all right, let's go down. Wait, what did we do? I don't remember. I don't remember what time we got back.
But what you thought? Okay, what you thought overall of the people? Because people say Japan is like one of the most nicest. People can be really nice to you.
You know what it is? It's courteousness. It's that It's that they're so damn courteous and they're so considerate about other people around them. And it's amazing, Danny. I miss it so much already. Like,
yep.
It's just so great.
It has you.
Not only just the famous, like, oh, you're going on an escalator, you got to stand on the left, walk on the right if you want to walk up or down. Not even just that. It's just like everything. They are just thinking about what's going to be more convenient for the next person. Whether it's on the train, whether it's at a restaurant, wherever the case may be, they're thinking about it. Whether it's a freaking bidet, God bless a bidet, I miss that.
Oh yes, that's the reason why I cannot use toilet paper no more. I can't.
What do you use?
I switched to only wipes.
Oh.
I can't because of the bidet.
And you don't poop in public bathrooms.
No, but those bidets. It's a life changing, and people say like, really? It's just water up you? Oh, trust me,
it feels great, and then you feel clean.
You feel clean. That's the thing. You feel
so clean.
Yep.
And the bathrooms are always clean. I went to public bathrooms, and they were all clean. Jesus. The one thing I would say about I don't have this for math, but about 75% of men do not properly wash their hands after using the bathroom.
That I didn't know that, but good.
Keep an eye out. Keep an eye out because I'm telling you, they'll get done with their business. They're very weird about peeing too. So I walked into a public restroom where a guy was like, he didn't have his pants underneath his butt cheeks, but he might as well have. And he was peeing like he was a 2-year-old kid or 4 or 5-year-old kid at a public restroom.
Was he drunk?
No, I don't think so. It was like middle of the day. I don't think he was.
Oh, shoot.
I don't know, but TMI, but I saw a little bit of bush, and it was just like, oh, God, I do not want to see it. Anyways, he turns around. He this is how he washes his hands. He goes up to it. He goes, shh, all right, I'm out. They don't have soap in a lot of public restrooms either.
It seems like chloride doesn't run in them. I guess. I don't know.
It's weird.
I do.
It's weird,
It's
but
weird.
it's mainly in public restrooms. They're always clean, but the guys who use them, I'm telling you, keep an eye out next time. About 75% of them, Danny. I don't. There's no actual math behind it, but it just felt like that, where they just quick rinse, 2 seconds, they're out.
Yeah.
And I was like, ugh. The good thing is you don't really shake hands over there. It's not a shaking hand culture.
No.
It's not a fist bump culture. It's none of that. It's not a high
It's a
five
bow.
culture. It's a bow. It's a beautiful, beautiful
Or it's
bow.
courteous. Yeah. And so I think I didn't see that because I didn't went to a lot of public restaurants. But I think I did one time went to a restaurant that I was like, I need to go. It was like a donut shop or something. And it was a small one. I was like, oh God, please be clean. And then it was clean. You're right.
It was
clean.
freaking clean, Danny.
So I mean, and also that's why they're scared. I was gonna say they're scared of people who are tourists because if you can easily act dumb over there, and then they're gonna do something. They're not gonna stay quiet. By the way, some youngers will come to you and be like, "Fuck you, get the hell out of here from our country."
Would they really?
Oh yeah, there's videos of people doing that. It's because they don't. If you're being too much of an asshole. And you're not Japanese. That's the thing about them. They like to keep their culture. They don't like foreigners as much as other people think they do.
But they like tourists. It seems like
I mean, they have to like tourists. As most of the money comes in a lot for other businesses. But they don't. I feel like that's why Japan is really hard to to even be a Japanese person to get your passport because they don't like. They don't want their culture to change, but I mean, at one point they're gonna have to. They want to get because they're having a hard time with. They're having a hard time with population over there, where they're not. Japanese people are not reproducing as fast as they Japanese people want to.
That would fool me because man, every damn city is so overcrowded.
But think about it, Jason. Look at the cities. There's only like a couple or three cities that are big that you went to. The rest of the country, little towns. Older people, not a lot of. It's just in those condensed areas. It's a lot of people. It's like people when they're when you're cold and you want to cuddle, with somebody else. That's how it is. That's how it is. Most of those countries, most of those cities are just condensed because people want to live. How I don't know, like the modern age, and all Japan, they're having a hard time to pretty much have a good populations. So I mean, people are selling like really cheap farms over there.
Oh, I've heard you can buy farms over there very, very cheap, but that shit's so overpopulated. In Tokyo, we were gonna go to Disneyland one morning, and we were about to go on the train.
Mm-hmm.
We were going on the train either earlier or later than this time frame that we were going this time. I had never seen a train so packed. It felt like it was. I thought it was just like exaggerated on TV and shit.
Yeah.
Nah, they're like backing up with their backs, fitting in, and their nose looks like it's about to get freaking smashed out of the freaking doors. It was packed. They're like this. They're literally like this.
Yep. Yep.
Like literally. Danny.
Yep.
Daddy,
yep.
No, but like literally.
I know, Jason. I saw that.
Me and Dana looked at it and we were like, yeah, we're getting a taxi. We just got a taxi. We went it wasn't to Disneyland. It was somewhere else that we were going that day.
Did you get a taxi with the door automatically from the back?
Yeah. That felt cool. That felt cool. I was like, all right. The prices didn't feel cool for that. But
no, they're pricey because they're not Uber. They're like
taxis.
I think they own company. So, but it gets you weird. If it's only once, you should be fine.
We technically used a taxi twice. The other time was a very short ride. This one was a little further, but it was just like no, we need to take a taxi because that freaking train. Right, that train was. I'm telling you, we were like, let's wait for the next one. Next one exactly the same. And then that's when we were like, all right.
Was it really early in the morning, like at 7 a.m. or something?
It wasn't even 7. It was like 8, I think.
Oh, it's still. Yeah.
It was like 8. But we had gone on like before and after. And it's like fine. We could find a seat if we really wanted to or just stand. I don't know. What else do you want to learn? Food?
I mean, just tell us. Yeah. Tell us with the food. Like, what you thought.
I don't know. Well, the thing is, I don't know what to talk about. But the food was always great. It was always great. It's so tough. You have all these plans on where to eat or what to do, and then you're there, and then it's like, well, yeah, that looks cool, but then I want to do that. So that was, we always tried to eat something a little more of the region. So in Kyoto, we went to the Japan's oldest restaurant. I don't know if you saw on my Instagram.
I think I did. Yeah, I think I did.
It was soba. It was like what they primarily serve, and then we got some soba with. She got cold, I got hot. With some tempura next to it, but it was so good, Danny. It was great.
And such a simple dish, but the thing that makes it, it's just, I don't know, it's just the noodles.
The noodles were so good, and then what they do is they bring afterwards. They bring like a little cup, one of those Japanese type of cups. They put it down, and it says that this water is hot leftover water that they cooked the soba in, and then you pour it in your teacup, and it's like more tea. It was great. So you get all those nutrients and shit. And then they made a mochi. The mochi I've never had before. That was so good with grinded soba on top of it.
Ooh, I didn't try that.
And it tasted like it kind of tastes like peanut shavings almost, but it was very, very thin shavings. So it was like smooth. Okay. So it was more like dusty.
Yeah.
And the mochi was so stretchy. It was great. With that type of place, Danny, the oldest restaurant in Japan, supposedly. It was like from the 1400s. You would hear, they find that sort of thing here in the U.S. That shit's going to be expensive, right? Over there, it was like $20 each.
Yeah.
And we got some hot sake with that.
And that's them overcharging, by the way. Because usually a soba cup, it should not be that much. It should be like $10 or something like that. But that's because of, historical, probably. And for us, it's cheap.
That's so fucking cheap, dude. Yep. I would have been expecting to spend so much more than that.
Yeah.
For that, just for the namesake, just for it being as reputable as it is. And the only reason we found out about it, Danny, was because Diana and I were trying to remember what the restaurant is you were talking about from Spain.
Oh yeah.
So we were like, wouldn't it be cool just to go like the oldest restaurants in the world? And then when we were like going through a list of like the top 10 oldest restaurants, and then the Japan one came out, and it was like, oh, in Kyoto. And then I looked up the address, and I was like, this is a 5-minute walk from where we're staying. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. It was great. It was a line.
You're welcome.
But it wasn't too bad. Thank you.
Yeah.
It was great. That place was really good. We had.
No, I was gonna say you went to. Go ahead. You were saying you had what?
No. You had a question?
I was gonna say, did you also go to the castle? You say you went one of the castles in Kyoto.
The first night, yeah, I don't really know which castle it was. The first night, the first day, I guess, the next morning, we went to one of the castles that was like a 10-minute walk away. Everything was so close. We put in so many damn steps, Danny. So many steps. It was like 30,000 like the whole time in Kyoto, because we were in an area where everything was pretty much in walking distance. Pretty much. Some things were a little further, but we went to a castle there. That was cool. That was cool just to like walk around and get a first glimpse of what's to come. And once you start doing everything else, it was like, oh yeah, I forgot I did that, because it was just walking around the park.
Yeah.
It was mainly walking around a big park where they had some historical value. Oh shit, man! I should have had some like pictures on just for me to look through, because I don't even know.
No, it's fine.
In Kyoto, we also went to those famous shrines, those red shrines that line up. Those really
a lot of people
ones.
take pictures of those. Yep.
Very very popular. Very wasn't as packed. I feel like we saw a lot of videos of people complaining how packed those type of places are.
Well, you went in a good time. It wasn't summer yet. It was like spring. So I think you went.
I think we did go at a great time, honestly, because the temperature was usually pretty good, the weather, and there was a lot of people there. But the thing with that type of place, if you're willing to walk and like walk long distances and kind of exhaust yourself a little bit, once you get closer to the top, once you get past like the halfway point to that place, you could take all the pictures you want, because there's only going to be like 5 people walking by you, so it's not nearly as crowded. So the trick is just keep going,
keep walking, keep going,
push through it, and you're gonna get the pictures you want, because then you're gonna be a little more elevated. You're gonna have more nature around you than people, and you don't have to block people's walkways because everywhere there, everyone's taking pictures. We felt so comfortable. I used to be so shy to just take pictures anywhere I go because it's like, I don't know, I don't want to feel like a tourist or anything. Everyone takes pictures there. We noticed it because, well, you notice it as soon as you land. Like, everyone's taking pictures. But we were at a pancake place, and there was just two Japanese ladies, and then they just started taking a bunch of pictures before they started eating. And then there was a lady to my right who was taking pictures before and after she ate, and I was like, Dana, that's just the custom here. Like, we shouldn't feel bad about it. Everyone's doing it. So they were like, all right. We just started taking pictures and everything. But anyways, for that shrine, that's my tip. Just push through it. Just push through it if you want the good pictures. If you want the good pictures. And it was great. It was really cool. We took a road that wasn't, a little bit of a path that wasn't on that main one. So we got guided towards like a bamboo forest type of thing. Not the famous one. But it felt like it, because it was just naturally bamboo forests around there. And it was like, oh, this is great. A lot of beautiful. Danny, I'm going to say right now.
Hey.
I'm going to say right now, okay? I like Kyoto better than Tokyo.
That's fine.
All right?
That's fine.
It's out there.
No, that's fine. I don't think people really...
Oh, you'll be surprised. I don't know.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I feel like people are going to be like, what? You like Kyoto better?
Well, they don't know you personally. Since I know you personally, well, I don't know if people said they know you personally. I know you would like Kyoto better than Tokyo because it's just more. It feels more natural in a way. It doesn't. It feels old, but also like not over. I mean, it's crowded, but it's not like Tokyo crowded. It's not like Tokyo trying to be modern, society where Kyoto is like trying to. I feel people there are just like.
The thing is, I don't mind the crowds. I don't mind the overwhelming stimuli that Tokyo is, because it's just there's fucking everything. There's something everywhere you go. I just really appreciated Kyoto's calmness while also having the locations where it's just, because everywhere you walk over there, Danny, like, one of the things about Japan is that it did not disappoint at all. Like, it's everything everyone makes it out to be and more. Like, there's so much to miss and there's so much to see. You're going to see things online and you're like, wow, that looks so cool. And it is. But then you keep walking and it's like, wait, but I haven't seen that. But I wish I had, because I would have been ready. But now I'm just going to go do it because there's just so much. But Kyoto just has, I don't think I've always been interested in the culture, like the historical culture. But I have always found it fascinating. Like, it was always really cool because it's one of the oldest cultures and like that modernized. But they kept their historical rituals, their historical, all that stuff. They kept it and they've kind of conserved it. And I always thought that was cool. Like, I've always wanted to go to those shrines, the castles, and that sort of thing. So I'm very happy I got to. So the shrine was great. I mean, what else did we do in Kyoto, Denny? Do you remember what you saw?
I think I just saw that, and then from there you move on to Tokyo, right?
No, we didn't. Hold on, we did more.
You went to Universal, I think.
Because we did like 3 days in Kyoto, and it didn't feel like. There's a section of Kyoto that feels like a mini Tokyo, which was great. Because then, like, if you want to do some shopping, they have the shopping there too. So
the shopping mall outside, like it's like inside but outside, where they have a bunch of stores everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
I don't know. I forgot. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, but they also have what is it called? Dairu, something like that. The 6-story shopping malls. You know the ones.
Oh, I didn't go to those. Yeah, I know, but I didn't go to those. Yeah.
Anyways, but so they have all that, but they still have all of the, because you're walking. We went to the other famous one where they have the famous Japanese style Starbucks. So we went there too.
Yes, that's another popular place. Yes, that's another popular place.
Again, another thing. People are like, you got to get there 5 and 6 in the morning to really experience it without people. We got there like 7 or 8, which is just an hour after, but it was fine. We got the pictures we needed. People were there a little bit earlier, but we passed by 7-Eleven before. We got a drink. That's one thing I actually think it was a little bit disappointing, actually, Danny, with 7-Elevens. They were great. They got a bunch of snacks. They got a lot of stuff. But I was like, I guess I was overhyped with this.
You didn't go to the other ones, to Family Mart or the us?
Lawson was very underwhelming.
Lawson. Yeah.
Lawson was very underwhelming. Family Mart was cool too, but 7-Eleven did feel a little bit more than those others. They were cool. Like, especially if you're trying to save a lot of money. But as we've said before, Diana and I like to go eating, and sometimes I would have liked to save a little bit more money somewhere here or there, but I don't regret anything.
No. A lot of people, there's a joke on a meme that people just spend so much money on going to Japan, and then they end up no money to buy food, so they just go to 7-Eleven.
There is
or Lawson's or Family Mart.
We went to a place where they had okiniyaki. I think this was in Osaka though, and we came across a woman, probably from America, and she had an American accent, so I'm pretty sure she was American. But she was like, "Hey, are you guys waiting here too?" And we're like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Oh yeah, I heard it's supposed to be really good and cheap. Everything looks like it's $150 or something like that." And I was like, "Oh wow, we didn't even know that." And she's like, "Yeah, trying to save money here." And I was like, "Oh." We were like, me and Dana were just like, "Oh, we heard it was good, so we want to try it." It was really.
Do you want to tell people what okonomiyaki is? Because I feel like
try.
A lot of people don't understand, but it's so fucking delicious.
It is not a very eye-pleasing dish. This one was vegan, by the way. Well, actually, no, it was half vegan. She had vegan options. Shout out to this girl, Oko Okinimiyaki, I think it was called. But shout out to her, because she's there like all day, and she's a one-man army. The place was super cool environment inside, very tiny. She's cooking everything. She's getting the orders. The drinks are like self-serve, so that it's fine. But she's doing everything on her own. She made the best gyozas I've ever had. There's two things, Danny. I'm gonna be all over the place here, but there's two things that were food palate changing. There's probably more actually, but these two things are like really stuck out. Is ramen. Because I've told people already before, but people have asked me, "What's your favorite ramen place down here?" And I'm always like, I don't really have one. Ramen is just ramen for me. Like
before. Yeah.
Ramen was just always like, yeah, I like it, but it's just most of the places it tastes kind of similar. This place is a little better than that place, but I don't have like a go-to. Then you have ramen over there, and it was like, this is what ramen is. This is what it. This is it, because this is amazing. It's never going to be the same, and it wasn't even that level before for me. So now it's just all going to taste like shit. And then the gyozas we had in that place. So, okay, again, I forgot to describe okonomiyaki, but the gyozas,
no, go ahead.
The gyozas at this place were like nothing I've ever tried before. I feel like gyozas is mainly like the outside flavor. This was like flavor on the inside. This was flavor on the outside. The gyozas are never going to be the same either. Like, we had gyozas somewhere else because it was like, let's try it here. You know, maybe it wasn't a one-time thing. And this place just has like, this place fucking did it. Okonomiyaki is like pan-fried noodles, and then they put a bunch of shit on it.
They put pancake mix. It looks like
potato pancakes. It's like potato pancakes.
Potato pancake, yes. And then they put what, like
Then I got a teriyaki chicken one. I got teriyaki chicken with seaweed seaweed crumbled things on there with like sauce on top, and it was a lot. It was a lot, but it was really, really good. Another thing that was like cheap. Like, she was cheap. And I was like, wow. It was great. So what I'm trying to say, I guess, is you don't need 7-Eleven to get cheap food. To get cheap, inexpensive, really good food. There's a lot of really good, inexpensive food to get out there. Because even if you think that place looks too luxurious, that place looks too expensive, it's probably not, honestly.
It's true. It's just you don't know. That's the thing. You don't know when you go to those places. You don't know, but most of the time it's not gonna be overly expensive.
No,
you'll know when you go really expensive place. So
I
feel like you will know.
You know how you Google, and then it'll have like the dollar signs on like the food. Some of them would have $3 signs, and I'll be like, oh fuck. And then you go there, and then you look at the price, and it was like, oh, $3 signs meant like $20. They quit like 20,000 yen, which is the equivalent to not even $20 actually. It'll probably be about $15. And that's what their $3 signs means. And then it was like, oh shit. Like that's really cheap. We had some sushi, Danny. We only had sushi once. I do regret not getting it again. But there's so much other food that we had that it's like it's okay.
It's a lot of things that
The sushi was it didn't overwhelm me. It didn't change my feelings towards sushi here. I've had and maybe it's just because we've had really good sushi here in Southern California.
You live in South California, which is, I mean, there's a lot of people there who can make really great sushi. So, and also there's a lot of people who can make really good ramen. Because a lot of people,
I want the challenge. I want someone to show me the really good ramen here. I want it because I don't think it's going to be like the first like. No. And you know what? I'm gonna say this, Danny. I'm gonna say this, and people are going to be like, "Wow, Jason!" But we had vegan ramen that first time. It was vegan ramen.
Tell me about this.
But it was, because then afterwards we had non-vegan. The next day we had non-vegan ramen. The vegan ramen was a lot better. Like that shit was really good. That's the one where I was like, wow, Danny. I don't know if you know me, but I've been known to not finish all of my meal sometimes. Sometimes if I'm just not like super hungry.
Yeah,
sometimes I leave a little bit. I've had ramen before where I don't finish all of the ramen. I fucking down this.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. That's when the chef is like, oh my god, okay.
I fucking hate the shit out of that, man.
That's
I
good.
think we had gyozas there too, and those weren't as good as the ones we had at the other place.
But they're better than over here.
Yes, they're still better than American gyozas.
Yeah.
The ones we have here in America.
Yeah.
Oh shit, where was I? Food.
I wanted to ask you, did you go to any bakery place?
Yes. It's kind of hard not to when you're over there because they love their bread.
Yes.
They fucking love their bread.
Let me tell you this, Japanese bread, I don't know what the fuck it is. I would say this, I think Mexican bread and Japanese bread are like, I wish there was a French bread place here because I feel like those three will be like.
Dang, I got something. It might be controversial.
What?
But I mean it. A melon pan is better than a concha.
Oh, Jesus, don't say that.
I said it.
Don't say that because let me tell you this. It's softer than a concha.
So you agree?
Sometimes, look. I don't get conchas. Denise knows I don't get conchas. And sometimes I will get a mellow because there's a Japanese bakery here, but it always fucking runs out in the morning. Like you will have to go in early in the morning to get it. But whenever they have that, I feel like it's softer than a concha. It's just fluffier than a concha.
Conchas could be sometimes like you got to get it from a good place. There's so many bad conchas. I didn't have one bad melon pan, and granted, I only had it a few times. It wasn't like I got it every fucking day or anything. Yeah. But even getting the melon pan from Disneyland, which theme park food isn't always the best.
Yeah.
But even getting it from Disneyland, I was like, oh no, this is still better than it was the Mike Wazowski melon pan. I don't know if you saw it.
Oh, I saw that.
It had a filling. At first, it was like, is whatever. But then it had like a cantaloupe filling inside. That I was like, okay. You bumped up a notch for me. That shit was great.
But
so the bakeries are.
If you're there, Jason, let me. Since you're talking about Japan, Disney in Japan, which a lot of people were. Well, the reason because a lot of people would say, "Why would you go to Disney?" I know it's Disney in Japan, but it's you still did everything else that people would do if they were in Japan.
Danny,
I mean, you still went to Kyoto. You went to Osaka. Right?
We were there a lot. We were there a long time. The jet fucked us up because of it, and we were in Tokyo enough time. I don't remember. We did like 2, 3, 4 full days of Tokyo. Mm-hmm. So it was plenty of fucking time. And then we still did the 4 days in Disneyland, and it was plenty of time and 3 nights at the hotel. I think obviously you can never do enough in Japan where you're like, all right, I'm glad that's all I need. No, we want to go back, but we still I think I'll speak for Diana when saying I think we still feel like we did enough where we're pretty satisfied, but we still want to go back because there's still so much to do. There's still so much we didn't do.
Oh, trust me.
But I think it's always going to be like that.
Yeah. I think yes, especially I want to go to Hokkaido. I've been wanting to go to Hokkaido.
Yeah.
I want to go to the north side of Japan.
Danny, let's link up, dude. Let's do it because we want to do the outside stuff now. Like, I feel like we've done enough Tokyo stuff where we want to do the stuff outside of Tokyo. Where we
I mean, it's gonna be like I tell you, it's gonna be like some places just not a lot of people. Like I said, most of those places not a lot of people in it. But like I said, if you want to like nature and like go to the beaches and stuff like that, there's plenty of that. We can even go to the dollhouse, the creepy dollhouse, Okiko. You know.
Well, I don't know if I'm gonna be skeptical. I don't know, but there's a place I was reading up is like gets the most snow in any place around the world. Outside of, excuse me, I'm burping. Outside of like Antarctica and whatever, but they have. I was reading they have like the most beautiful snow festivals there, and I believe it. Danny, one of the other things is that they understand the mission, they understand the assignment, and they fucking get an A+ for everything in Japan. Danny, everything. They understand the assignment, and I think that's the highest compliment I could give them is that they understand. And they fucking knock it out of the park. The Disneyland Center. Since you asked about Disneyland, I don't regret any bit of it. This magic, I felt the Disney magic for the first time in a long time at these Disneylands.
That's what I was jelly. That was I was jelly, Jason.
The technology, the Indiana Jones ride, they somehow stepped it up a little bit.
No, don't even tell me no more because I do want to go. I say, but I mean, you can say about it, but just don't explain the rides too much. I'm just saying.
Fine, I won't. But the Beauty and the Beast ride was also magical. The Tower of Terror added a little bit of like, it was different, but also better than like what we had even before when it was the Twilight Zone.
That one,
because this one isn't Twilight Zone. I thought it was, but it wasn't. It was.
But what was it?
I think it was some original thing, but like they have a big thing of giving you the show before the ride. Like there's always it lines you up, right? And then you get put into like a little which example should I give? Because they do this like in so many rides.
Performance.
But it's not like a big performance. It's just like a little talking point. I'll give the Beauty and the Beast one because I don't think it's a spoiler or anything. But you're in line, and then you get put into a room. Oh, you know what? Here, I'll just give the Haunted Mansion here in California because this is how they do it in a lot of rides. You're in line, and then you get put into that room where they talk to you. And then you do like that. A lot of the rides over there are like that, and I think it's a time-saving thing because the lines, Danny, though they might say an hour, they feel like 45 minutes. They never feel like it's the full time frame that they give, like that they say it is. They always feel a little shorter, and you're always constantly walking, and it feels like a good flow. They've understood the flow of lines to make it feel like it's not bad.
Well, also, it's not as populated as over here. So, no, it is. Listen, let me tell you, there's people, but I'm saying it's not as over here in California or somewhere else.
I don't know, because those lines could go up to 180 minutes. Like the Beauty and the Beast one.
I was going for that because I'm pretty sure
160 minutes. Minutes, Danny. It's insane. It's like 2 hours plus. We just paid for it. Every time we just paid for. We went on Beauty and Beast twice, and we paid for the front of the line each time.
Hey man, I mean,
it was worth it, man. We did it for all the rides we could and all the shows we could. We were like, we want to do it. Like,
did it have scary rides for me, Jason? Besides Tower of Terror, that I will never do.
Danny, you would love Disneyland over there, because I think
so great.
I kind of missed it a little bit though. I wanted a little bit more of like adrenaline. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's the only thing that
Tron? They didn't have the Tron one there.
No, that's Disney World and
Orlando
Yeah.
then. Yeah. Okay.
And I think another one. I forgot, but I think yeah, Disney World. No, they didn't have that one. There's one ride that I'm not gonna say what it was, where it surprised me a little bit. Like it catches you off guard, but it's very short. And I only say it's very short to you, Danny, because I would still want you to go on it and just experience it. Because then it's gonna catch.
Is it like the Mummy? Is it gonna like the Mummy?
It's shorter. It's a shorter time. Like,
but it's like that fast like the Mummy. Oh,
it's not like
fine.
a loop. There's no loops, so you'll be fine. You'll be fine, and you're gonna be like, because the technology over there, Danny. I'm telling you, dude, they just they step it up, and it has me. Usually here at Disneyland, I see the effect, and it's like, oh, how do they do that? But it's like, oh, that's how they did it. Like you could kind of, you lose the magic over there. It's like, this is what Disney fucking magic is, and I feel like I sound like such a Disney adult. But it really does feel different and better. Disney Sea being the better one, the bigger one, because you go to King Triton's grotto, and then it takes you got to go under, and then it's all dark, and it feels like you're in his grotto underwater the whole time. That place is for kids.
Cool. Huh? That was pretty cool.
It was cool because the outside is like just like the coral reefs, so it's big. So then you're like, what is in there? And then you go inside, and then you go under, and it's like, oh, it's big. It must be amazing for kids. Right there, they don't have anything for adults, like adult rides. It was odd, kid rides, but it must be amazing for them.
I mean, it's a kids park.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's a kids park, but I heard that the Disneyland, they're trying to expand. I guess they're trying to show the plan to Anaheim.
Yeah,
console, whatever.
They're doing like they're doing like a Fantasyland Part 2 or some shit where they're gonna have Rapunzel stuff. They're gonna have, I don't remember, but they're gonna have like 2 other castles or something. Or they're gonna have.
I forgot. Yeah, they're gonna have a bunch of stuff, but I feel like Japan one, and also I'm pretty sure Hong Kong, or what's that? France. They're just better in a way because Disney's like, that's when Disney had the money and they were like, go nuts. Disney engineers like start making better things.
So with the Japan one though, that's not technically owned by Disney. A different company kind of bought. I don't know exactly how it works, but they explained it in the Imagineering Story documentary on Disney Plus, where it's not directly Disney, but it's with all the Disney rights. But the company is kind of separate, which is why they get to keep so much of the antiquity and like the nostalgia stuff that we would feel. They have so much of the nostalgia for our generation that the Disneyland here is kind of getting rid of and turning into the new generation of stuff.
Yeah.
But over there, so what they did was basically before they built it, they went to Disneyland and Disney World and said, let's get some of like the best of those two and put it into our Disneyland. And they did it. And then they were like, now let's upgrade it a little bit. Let's turn it up a notch a little bit. And they did. They did.
How long did you stay there?
For Disneyland?
Yeah.
We did Disneyland in 2 days, and then Disney Sea in 2 days. So we did 2 days.
Disney
each.
Sea is kind of like California Adventures. So there's 2 parks. So it's not just one park. Oh, gotcha.
There's 2 parks. Disney Sea, I guess, is like California Adventures, but better and bigger. California Adventure is fun, but Disney Sea just has so much more.
So was 3 days enough?
2,
or was
2
it like
each.
2? Oh, 2 each. So 4
2
days.
Each. Yeah,
so
4 days.
2. Was that enough?
I think you could do it all, even if you wait in line. If you want a little bit more of like time to do the shows, then maybe you'll have to pay for like the premiere access is what it's called to get front of line.
But I mean, like, was it like calm? Because like, when I want to go, I like to go to parks. I just want to be calm. I don't want to be freaking rushing all the time. Was it enough to be just like, okay?
With chill? The premiere access, yeah, it was pretty chill.
Okay.
It was. We even had time to go to like the restaurants that are reservation only. And since we had a hotel there, we were able to. So you could get reservations if you don't have a hotel room at like the more like Magellan's. If you'd like 3 months ahead, but those go out quick. They have a separate section for people who have hotels, like who have a room in the hotels, and you could get a reservation through that portal. So then like those stay open a little bit, like those don't get booked up as fast, which was a great little benefit.
That sounds pretty great.
It was.
And they look like castles, like better hotel than the one that we got. Remember?
Oh, the Disneyland hotel was great. Oh, you saw the view. We had a beautiful view to the castle, the Disney castle, and we could hear the music at night.
This I don't know how. Sorry, just to cut you off. I just don't know how I turn into. You and I think you're the one who was always been a Disney person. I don't know what the hell happened to me over the years. I don't know. It was like the magic of Disney.
It's the magic.
I mean, the capitalism of Disney, but let's call it magic.
It's fine.
It just got me, man. It just got me. Like, I don't know what the hell is going on.
Danny, it's capitalism, but everyone does it. Like, why? Like, people would like to pick and choose. Like, Disney's doing it to us. Everyone's doing it to us. They just know how to do it great.
But I'm saying, like, you got that. You say you got that when you were in Japan.
Oh, the magic was real, Danny. Like, they made you feel it because everyone is in on it. Like, that's the thing. It's not, you're not walking around and seeing all the people here at Disneyland where they're wearing those. Never mind, I'm not gonna say that. But they're wearing whatever they're wearing, and then they're like kind of dressed like they're there to whatever they're dressed, right?
Oh, you mean like the shirts and they have like
not only that though. Like, not even just that. It's just they're there. And they're like the people who wear the shirts that are like this. I had to sell my arm and leg to get tickets here, and it's it's like, come on, dude. Like, you don't have to be here. Fucking go home. If you're really gonna complain about it, like, you gotta put on a T-shirt how much you had to spend to be here. Over there, it's like a privilege for them. Granted, it's a lot cheaper. 2 tickets is basically the price of 1 over here. No, it is the price of 1. Like 2 tickets over there.
I think it's cheaper for us, but not cheaper for the Japanese people.
Either way, I think it's like 89,000 yen, which isn't bad either. But for us, since it's the currency, it came out to like 65, which was a great price for each day.
That was pretty great.
It was, but everyone there is going, and they treat it like with so much appreciation. It's like it becomes infectious. The Baymax ride, Danny, was so fucking lit. It is such a simple ride. It's just a scrambler. That's all it is.
I saw. Yeah.
But it's so lit because the music. Everyone, there's a couple of guys that if you start getting the Instagram notifications, because now they're listening of the Baymax ride. I'm gonna get it into the algorithm. Like, you'll see these 2 guys who are doing the dances to the songs. And they're just getting lit. And everyone is out there like, woo! They're all waving their hands and dancing to the songs. And it becomes infectious. And it's like, shit. If you get sucked into that energy, you're just going to have a great time.
Enjoy. Yeah, you're going to enjoy.
You're going to have a great time. Like, you got to like really release yourself to just be like, because everyone's doing it there. Here in America, people seem to be a little more conservative with that type of feeling of like having that kid-like joy. But if you just let yourself go, you're gonna have such a great time. And Danny,
that sounds pretty great.
I'm messing around with this stuff. It was on the back of my phone. They do this thing right now. It's the 40-year anniversary, where they have these garlands, and a couple employees would give you like a card, and they'll give you kind of like these that have like, thank you, you're the best, and stuff like that. And you're supposed to like give it to the cast members or whoever you want, really. But we were giving it to cast members because they're not a tipping culture. So we were like, let's make this like the tipping culture. Like,
gotcha.
So we would give it to them, and they'd get so happy, Danny. You'll give it to them, they'll be like, oh wow, you've honored me with this like thing that says you're fantastic. And it's like such an honor. Then we gave to the Magellan's. You check out Magellan's, by the way, the restaurant. It's a beautiful, beautiful restaurant. Which again, here would be like 150, but over there it's like, it came out to like $60, $70, $80.
For 2 people?
For 2 people, and we got like wine.
Wow.
It was like a 3-course meal. We got wine too. Or I got wine, she got something else. It was great. But they gave this back to us. Danny, I'll also be remiss. We're running out of time here. This is going to have to be part 1. Part 2 might be with Diana. We also went to the Ghibli Museum. And look, with a ticket, one of the tickets is they give you like, this is actual film. I'm not sure for which movie. I forgot. It was like Marnie or something.
That looks like from That's from Spirited Away, I think.
No, it's not that one.
Is that?
No, no, I know for a
I
fact
can
it's not. You
see
can't.
it.
Yeah, you can't really tell on there. It's not. Oh, this looks beautiful here, but they had a little short also
Uh-huh.
that you can watch there. That's exclusive only to the museum. That was nice. That one was like My Neighbor Totoro short. That's like
Okay.
a new one.
I didn't know this, by the way. I didn't know there was a Studio Ghibli. You know,
Ghibli
uh,
apparently.
Ghibli.
I used
Sorry,
to say Ghibli
Ghibli.
too.
So is it Ghibli?
It's
Okay,
Ghibli because
Ghibli.
when we got to the train station, I asked one of the workers there. I was like, where's this at? And I pointed. He's like, Ghibli, go over there. And then I was like, oh, Ghibli. Well, yeah, sorry, I cut you off. You were saying
I didn't know there was a museum of it. And I was like, oh wow, that
the museum.
see that's the thing, we have to go back. But
The,
you know what, Jason?
very hard to get tickets. You got to be on top of it.
Oh
They
no,
sell
it
out
seems like
quick.
it gets packed.
It doesn't get
So
too packed, but it's because you have to get a ticket. And for foreigners, it's difficult because you have to go through a portal where thousands and thousands of other people are also trying to get tickets. And it's like a month before the month that you want to go. So we had like 2 days that could work in our itinerary. And we got lucky. We got very, very lucky that we got to go. Danny, this is a beautiful, beautiful museum. It's just
this is where we get part one, Jason. This is where part one, because I wanted to hear more about this. No, don't tell me part one. Just
the thumper. The thumper. They love all their kawaii shit, Danny, and I loved it too, baby.
Oh,
There's so much to talk about. It's exciting.
All right. Well,
I'm not done talking about Disneyland.
No.
I'm not done talking
I don't
about.
want you.
We haven't even talked about Osaka. We haven't even talked about our expeditions to try to find some shoes that I really wanted.
Oh, okay. Okay.
There's so much more food conversations. There's so much.
Okay.
There's so much to talk about, Danny. And next time, hopefully, I bring in Diana. She probably can talk a little bit about my worry wart woes, because it was on such a little.
Like
bitch.
I said, it's it's a place that everybody. I think now culture has become like a top spot for people to go travel.
Yeah.
Either you're geek or not, it has become, top now. So it's good that you're talking about this, because I want people to know, like you can go if you have a passport. You can go. Find a way to go. It's not it's not that expensive, and you do not have to do what Jason was doing. I mean, you can do to Disneyland a couple of days, and that's it.
You didn't even talk about Universal Studios.
Okay, you know what? Yeah.
You know what? Look, I'll give a couple teasers for next week or for next time we record. I don't know when it's gonna really. Universal Studios, also better. All right.
Okay.
And I'll talk about that.
To be honest, yeah.
This one might not be as Danny friendly as Disneyland. Number 2, which might be because I didn't, for other reasons, Akihabara, underwhelming. And shit, there was another one, but we still got. I didn't even.
Osaka, remember?
Yeah, I still got to talk about Osaka.
Extravaganza and the people you probably met.
Kind of. Very helpful people. I want to continue talking about how helpful and lovely the Japanese culture is, because I'm no weeaboo. I don't think I am. I like the Japanese culture, the anime. You know me. I wish I was into anime at this point, just so there could be so much more for me to experience over there. But it's just not in me. Visited One Piece. He was cool.
Okay, yeah, I've been to that. I was like, okay.
Bye, guys. Thanks for listening. This is what they do over there. I think. I don't know. I think that's what Sailor Moon does, right?
Yeah, Sailor Moon does that.
I guess we're skipping the last minute jokes with Danny. That's gonna be for next.
Last minute jokes. Old but classic. What do you call toilet paper in Spanish?
I don't know what.
Quita caquita.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to get back to us. Turn on the notifications on YouTube. We might be back later on tonight. We might not. Maybe we'll be. That's been Danny. I've been Jason. I didn't even introduce you. It's been crazy. We've been gone for too long.
Yeah.
This has been Sunday Morning Tangents with a couple of tan.
Hawaiians.